Where are we? Oh, holy smokes. I prepared a Des Moines, Iowa program. This is Des Moines. That's what they told me on the memo this morning. Corey, you won't be doing a neutral ground show. It'll be This is Des Moines. Mario, we had the show all planned for This is Des Moines.
Go Hawkeyes.
Yep. We had on the coach of the women's volleyball team, Brenda Smith. We had on Freddie McGillicuddy from the Wheat Growers Association.
Big Freddie guy.
And Frankie Smith was going to join us talking about a banner crop of corn this year.
Legend.
A legend, but we're going to have to cancel that. It's not This is Iowa anymore.
Oh, man. I'll put the corn away, I guess.
I'm kind of upset about it. I was all prepared for a This is Iowa program.
Not heaven. Not heaven.
Oh, wow. I think the Field of Dreams is still there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like an attraction people actually go to look at it from the movie.
Didn't they play an actual game there, or did they like redo?
I think they redid a Field of Dreams somewhere and did.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not at the actual place.
I remember doing a radio show with somebody then, and that person was so offended that they did that game. I'll never understand the holier than thou mentality.
Connected to the movie or something?
Yeah,
like
no, like
just in the movie?
Like it's not real baseball kind of thing. Like it's just a gimmick. Like so many people hate the bananas, you know. Baseball fans are kind of weird.
I thought the bananas was a lot of fun, everybody said.
A lot of people, but a lot of people like passionately hate the bananas.
They outdraw MLB.
Still,
I mean, how many people were at the Dome? Like 60-something thousand, right?
Yeah, dude, 140,000 in 2 nights.
So they average like 70,000 a game.
Yeah, dude.
Saints. It's like a Saints game.
Yeah, they had Tyler Shuck and Drew Brees out there. It really was like a Saints game.
There's no MLB pulling 70K. There's no stadium anymore that holds that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Wow.
Can't get that in the MLB, literally.
No, that'd be the Miami Marlins playing, 10 games to pull 70.
Man, I'm just waiting for somebody to call in and hate because that's how much hate I've seen for the bananas.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's just Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah, people despise it, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Just like people hate bat flipping, and when they show emotion, like people like it's not a dislike, it's a hate.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe those folks need to get a life or something like that. It's just a little comedy routine. It's a little break from reality. I mean, baseball's supposed to be a break from reality.
Yeah.
This is us, on super steroids anyway. Crowds were big, Mario. Everybody I talked to, it's mostly like moms and dads with the kids. They seem to like it a lot. And Drew Brees showed up, didn't he?
Yeah, he was there. He grounded out to, I think, third base, but he got an at-bat.
Wow.
And Tyler Shuck, I think, was part of their halftime show. They played a football game, and he threw a touchdown.
Oh, unbelievable. I wonder what Drew Brees got compensated for showing up for that game.
I don't know. A lot of people say, like, he loves baseball. He might have. Like, he talked about.
And what drugs are these people on?
To be fair, he did say after the game, like, I never in a million years thought I'd play any kind of baseball in this stadium.
Yeah, because it's the Superdome. What's that got to do about him being paid?
Man, now you hating. Okay.
You think that he did? You think he did it for free for the love of baseball? Flew into New Orleans.
Look,
played in that game for no charge.
We can critique Drew Brees' business sense if you want to do that. I'm not one of the people that are saying to never do that, but I think it's a possibility because he does seem to love baseball. Why don't you
Google how much did Drew Brees get paid to play in that game?
Okay.
I think Drew Brees got 6 figures to play in that game.
I don't think he did. This is all speculation, obviously.
I think Drew Brees got 100 G's to play in that game for one bat.
Get paid to show.
I'm shocked, Mario. You think he did it for free because of his love for baseball?
Yeah, dude. You never played sports for free? I mean, it's fun.
Yeah,
sports
of course,
are fun. It's
but
a
I'm
child.
not Drew Brees.
It's a children game.
My time es mula es dinero.
No public disclosure. It's not public if he got paid.
He got paid. It's Drew Brees. He ain't doing it for free.
Maybe Shuck, but I don't know. I feel like Drew Brees,
What?
Like he would do it for free. He seems to really like baseball.
Like what I'm saying, like they would ask him to come do it, and then the compensation would never come up. in the conversation, or if it did, they'd be like, no, Drew, we just think you love baseball and you should do it for free. I'm just curious, like, of the thinking from Drew Brees' standpoint. I would imagine he would want a check for that. I just don't see
It is.
Guys, I love the game so much and I love the bananas. I tell you what, I'm going to come do it for free.
Is it possible maybe they wanted to ask Brees that, and as a backup option, they would have offered compensation to somebody who isn't as passionate about baseball?
Mario, I think you're a good guy. I think you're a sports fan. But two things, I think Drew Brees' love of baseball is not that big. And two, I think Drew Brees is like, dinero for me to show up.
Let's get him on the show now.
I don't think Drew Brees went to the Hall of Fame and Natchitoches thing, right? Wasn't it a video display?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think he went to that.
Maybe not.
I think he did the video display. And not that they would pay him to go.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it has to go that, like, you're not getting compensated. I got something else going on that night.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And not like, screw you, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. I'm not expecting to get compensated. But since I'm not, it's easy for me to skip it. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
It's a possibility.
I don't mean to diss or hate on Drew Brees. I love Drew Brees just like everybody else.
And I don't mean to, unnecessarily praise Drew Brees. I'm just saying I think it is a possibility.
Speaking of Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, you're sort of our in-house sports expert and our in-house fast food expert.
Yes.
I don't think Small Siders is making it, huh?
That's a random observation that's kind of hitting. I think that I have not seen as many.
Do you see people at the small sliders, like at lunch and dinner time?
Not really.
I see them a lot more empty than packed.
It seems huge, and I moved out of Baton Rouge 2 years ago, so maybe it's true there, but it seemed a lot bigger in Baton Rouge.
Well, it was huge when it first opened here, I thought. Like the
new location.
Yeah, like with that one in Elmwood.
Yeah.
I mean, Clearview.
Just off the location, it's going to be hot in the beginning. Just
the one in Elmwood, I never saw a line. The one on Clearview, they had a ridiculous line all the time. Now I drive by and it's like empty at 7:30 at night.
I mean, I love Smalls. I think it's delicious. I've loved for like the people that franchise it, but it's just very heavy. Like if you eat it,
is heavy.
If you eat it, you're gonna be bloated / sleepy.
Why? It's just a little burger and fries.
It's a burger on a Hawaiian roll with a ton of cheese. You can add queso to it, and then it's really delicious, seasoned but heavy, like highly carbonated waffle fries.
Gotcha.
It's not thin fries.
Gotcha. So the old bloated feeling, you feel big when you leave Smalls.
Yeah, I think the last stage of my life, like in my mid-20s, where I could eat that and still function, I enjoyed it. Like I definitely took advantage of that. I lived close to one when I was in Baton Rouge. So
yeah, I see the one on Clearview. I saw the Clearview and Vets by the Clearview Shopping Center, which someone told me is like Breeze and them just got to pass. Like it's too close to the street for it to be in that spot.
Yeah.
Like they got some slack cut.
I'm sure.
To jam it in there.
I'm sure.
And got it fast tracked.
Someone into Louisiana doing something nice for Breeze.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And supposedly, the first few weeks, that thing was slammed. Like now I see them set up the double like drive through the cones, and there's no reason they're pulling like the Chick-fil-A kind of Cane's gimmick with the double drive through and cones and things like that. Like they need those, but I don't know. I don't think Smalls Sliders is working. I would venture to say that one in Elmwood, especially the one in Elmwood, I think that it's going to be painted like from orange to like black, and it'll be like Jimmy's Daiquiri Shop in about 6 months.
I think the most hate I've ever seen Drew Brees get from something that he posted was one time he came to New Orleans. And he was like, man, me and my family hit the holy trinity of food. We went to Jimmy John's, then we went to Walk-Ons, and then we went to Small Sliders.
Wow.
And New Orleanians were like, Drew, we love you, but we cannot let this slide.
Yeah. I think he caught some crap. He picked up a to-go order. And I want to say it was like $67.
Man, I always defend people doing that.
And he left $3
I'm
or something.
Sorry, but you're picking up an order.
No, I'm just telling you, it was on Twitter. It was like it went viral.
I'm just saying that even if it was a famous person I didn't like I would still defend them doing this. I think it's ridiculous to expect a tip if you're just picking up an order.
Yeah, it was like a 67 something, and he left $70. The person was like, I got $3 and something cents, $2 and something cents, and it is a to-go order. But I mean, someone's got to bag it up and box it up for you. So I still pay, especially if I go frequently. Now, Mario, if you go all the time and you see Brenda and she's bagging up your to-go order, you're not going to tighten Brenda up if you go all the time.
I guess so.
And
maybe.
She's like, hey, Mario.
If I like
Brenda.
Yeah.
Hey, Freddie.
I suppose.
Thanks for the extra mayo, Freddie. You're going to tighten him up.
If Freddie gives off a good vibe, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
100%.
But Breeze has mucho dinero. On 66, I would have left 80 and walked if I'm Drew Brees.
I hear you.
You know?
Fair critique.
That would have been 20% on a to-go order, but I'm Drew Brees, and I got millions, and the extra $5, $6, $7 is meaningless to me.
Fair.
That kind of gimmick. Anyway, no, I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying he caught a lot of crap, Mario.
No, I remember that.
He caught some crap.
Yeah.
Hey, conservative voice Brian Haldane's going to join us next. We do that every single Tuesday. What did I want to talk about, Mario? I wanted to talk about some food item, and now I can't find it. There it is. Trey Yen in Mandeville for Lent, one of the best seafood restaurants in Metro New Orleans. You heard me right. Trey Yen, one of the best seafood restaurants. Someone asked me on Twitter a few weeks ago, Corey, New Orleans' best seafood restaurant. And I was almost like it's a trick question. You can go to any of my top restaurants on the list and order seafood items, and they're going to be excellent because these are some of the best restaurants in the city. I went to Vincent's a few weeks ago. I got the corn and crab soup, which they're known for, and then I got the flounder for lunch. It had some Alfredo pasta on the side, but you get the idea. It was like a seafood festival at Vincent's. Trey Yen in Mandeville. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. And the Wong brothers love our seafood bounty. It's Lent. So many great Lenten specials over at Trey Yen in Mandeville. Get there tonight for dinner. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife, since 1971, on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
A great place for Lent. I know this sounds crazy, but the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place for Lent. I know. The Steak Knife, Corey, a place that serves great prime steaks. Yep. That Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue since 1971, 55 years, the Roth family's doing something right. I counted their menu items. It's like 39, 40 menu items. 32, 33 of the 39 or 40 are Lent ready. Like the gumbo, like the crab meat au gratin, like the Gulffish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum with jumbo lump crab meat. All those great salads, including like the avocado with the crab meat. 13 sides, all Lent ready. 8 out of 9 appetizers, Lent ready. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Open tonight through Saturday night. You'll love it. Great atmosphere, great food. The Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview for Lent. A cool, crisp day, 56 degrees. Tomorrow morning we'll wake up, it'll be 46. Then it warms up for the rest of the week. Lots of 50s, 60s, really 60s and 70s the rest of the week. We do this every Tuesday right around 4:20. We go to Baton Rouge. Brian Haldane joins us, conservative voice. What's up, Brian?
What you say, Corey? How's things going today?
Going well, man. What's happening up in BR?
Second week of the legislative session's rolling on. Just plugging away at it, man. Plugging away. Seeing what's going to be a thing. You know.
What's going to be a thing?
So far, and I know this is just sexy as all get out. Centralized sales tax collection is going to be big on Monday and Tuesday, and believe it or not, this could mean some big money for the state because not New Orleans, not Baton Rouge, but in all small towns where they don't do a good job of collecting online sales tax, we're talking the tune of like $300 million is left on the table every year because the individual municipalities and taxing districts and sheriff's departments and whatnot, they got to have the money in their own hands, so they won't centralize it. If we centralize it, we can fix so many problems, and that's what's going to be on the table.
Yeah, we were bad at that when it first started. You remember we were collecting no sales tax on internet purchases.
Yep, that's right.
Wow, so it's $300 million if we just tighten up the rural areas.
It's getting the rural areas to centralize things so every taxing district doesn't have their own code and doesn't have their own collection, and but they've got to relinquish a little bit of control to get a lot more money.
Yeah, which is difficult to get those small places to relinquish the control. We'll see how that goes. Keep an eye on that. What about income tax? Any talk of reducing that further?
That hasn't cranked up just yet. There are 2 bills that I'm keeping an eye on, and I apologize. I'm not in front of my notes right now. I'm in carpool like I normally am at this time, and I'm not in front of my notes right now, so I can't remember who wrote the 2 bills. But there are 2 bills that have a really decent chance of moving forward that are, and one of them is by Dixon McMakin. I do know that one. That would continue to chip away at the income tax little by little over the next decade to where we're offsetting the reduction in income tax with surplus revenue that's in the budget. So if we have surplus revenue in the budget, we'll tick off a little bit of the income tax based off of that number so the state's not losing any money.
The way oil and gas prices are going, we may end up having a surplus.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at $3.50 a gallon right across the street from you right now.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's crazy. But indirectly, that means more drilling jobs for South Louisiana usually.
One would hope we would see those repercussions to where we can generate supply. If we could be bigger on the supply end, it's good for our overall economy.
There are states like Texas, Tennessee, Florida, no income tax. They usually rely on not necessarily sales tax, but property tax. You pay a lot for your house in taxes. Florida's talking about eliminating property tax to go along with income tax.
Which I don't know how you run a state like that. I mean, you can't run your state just off of sales tax. Or maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, it seems like the sales tax would have to be prohibitive. Ours is like one of the highest in the country. In New Orleans, it's about 10% total.
Yeah. Yeah. And getting more than that, it becomes very reductive. I mean, it's very regressive, not reductive, excuse me, to lower income families. You know, it's the less you make, the greater percentage of your income the sales tax becomes.
Brian Haldane's with us, conservative voice out of Baton Rouge. Hey, Brian, how can folks check out your program every weekday morning? How can they check you out on social media?
So let's start off on Facebook. Talk 107.3 is my home station in Baton Rouge. So follow Talk 107.3 on Facebook. We are live every single morning. We get a great chat going over there every single morning. And YouTube as well. I'm there on YouTube, but if I'm being quite honest, I ignore the heck out of the YouTube chat in order to pay attention to the Facebook chat. You know, only so much attention span to go around. Meanwhile, on Twitter, it's at Brian Haldane. I'm there all the time as well.
Hey, Brian, I don't want to make light of this Iran war, but it's sort of like my golf game. I have no idea how it's going to end up after the 18 holes. I have no idea what's going to happen in Iran. I'm like you. I'm like most Americans. We have wishful thinking, hopeful thinking. But this thing, when it first happened, I had no problem with it. I was like, wow, they got the Ayatollah. You know, we're going to see an uprising of the students, and Iran will be a different country. So far, that hasn't gone as planned. Who knows what the future holds, but kind of an iffy proposition. And then you throw in the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know if this one was well planned out.
Well, we're 2 weeks in, and this was going to be a bigger operation than Venezuela. And if I'm being honest, you don't vote for Trump to get involved in war. I mean, a lot of people voted for Trump in order to get out of wars, not get into them. But if we could look at Venezuela as a blueprint to say that's what a controlled attack looks like, get in, get what you got to get done, and get out. But if this is Venezuela plus religion, man, that's an added X factor that I don't think anybody can fully account for.
No, and Iran just seems relentless. Like, blow up all you want. We're not enjoying this. Kill whoever you want. We're not enjoying that either. But we've got a bunch of cheap drones that cost about as much as a cheap automobile. And we're going to just launch them by the hundreds, if not the thousands, soon enough.
Yeah, and it's going to take a little bit longer to outlast that for sure. And I don't think we have the appetite, especially in an election year, in a midterm year. I hate to make it I hate when human lives are become political fodder. I hate that. But the appetite does go down for conflict during a midterm election year or any election year for that matter. So if this goes past a month, I think everyone's going to be reconfiguring what they think.
Some little power boat with some explosives on it can take out an oil tanker. It's almost like you're not fighting a country. You're fighting a bunch of terrorists that are pseudo affiliated with the country, have no connection to the country except past financial, funding by that country. Defending the Strait of Hormuz, these oil tankers, seems like a difficult task. So wide open, any little group of gangsters can take out a huge ship.
Well, yeah, but isn't that one of the main reasons why we went in there in the first place? Is because of their financing of terrorism and terrorist groups at every turn. I mean, Iran has been bankrolling this for years, and this was one of the reasons that sent us in. It shouldn't be a surprise that they're going to hit us with terror tactics. And
having trouble getting any foreign countries to jump on board to protect the strait. They're sort of like, this is Donald Trump's war. The United States started this. Let them deal with it. We don't want to put up any kind of dollars, much less potential lives.
Yeah. Well, it's disappointing that the entire world turns back to us for this anyway. It's you feel like Jack Nicholson and A Few Good Men, And I know he was the bad guy in that, but, to sleep under the blanket of protection that we provide, and then question the manner in which we provide it, but to get away from the few good men reference, not step up when it's your turn to step up. I mean, the number of countries that have the possibility of positioning themselves for the future in the region, and they're not doing their bit right now. I just, look, I don't often quote Donald Trump, but it is disappointing. It's disappointing to see.
What were those guys found guilty of in the movie? What did they call a what?
Like conduct unbecoming or something.
Yeah. What
like
was that term called?
The term for what Code Red. Did you order the Code Red?
The Donald Trump ordered a Code Red. That's the problem. The rest of the countries are like Code Reds against the handbook.
Well, I mean, the potential upside. I'm still seeing the potential upside. That's the problem.
Oh no, that's all we can hope for is the potential upside. But it's not like there's a plan and an objective to get to that upside. It's almost like hope it happens, like when Trump early in the war was like, okay, people, we've set it up for you. Go seize your country now. They're still squashing protesters. So it's not as easy as it sounds. And when they were protesting and wanted America's help, we waited a few months. So, I don't know. It seems like a ready, fire, aim with, I hope it works out at the end. That's the position I'm in. It's like my golf game. I have no idea how this is going to go. I'm not a pro. I'm not a 2 or 3 handicap. Neither is Trump. And he went in thinking he's going to shoot 75, and he's putting like a 90 on the card right now.
Well, yeah. It's still 2 weeks in though. We have an instant gratification need, and war doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But also, he said it should only be a few weeks. We'll talk more about that, a slew of other topics. You can join us as well. Brian Haldane's with us, conservative voice out of Baton Rouge. Joins us every Tuesday a little after 4:30. 766-9480 is how you can dial us up. Join the conversation. 766-9480. It is a new year. We're already into March. Late last year, you were talking about a new job, a new career. Latrim is waiting on you. They're hiring in Elmwood, you East and West Bankers, and they have a facility off I-12 on the North Shore. For a full listing of positions available, go to their website right now, latrim.com, latrim.com. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
This is a hell of a lot easier than when I delivered pizza in New Orleans. What the hell? We're all just blocking the street. We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. We're all just blocking the street. Screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Yeah, stop blocking the street.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
A gorgeous day outside, cool and crisp, temperatures in the mid-50s. It'll dip about 10 degrees colder by tomorrow morning, and then it's going to warm up. Lots of 60s and 70s for like the next week or so after mañana. I like this cold snap. We needed it. Kill those mosquitoes. Brian Haldane's with us, conservative voice. So, Brian, I mean, at least we're on the same page. We're hoping for a good outcome in Iran, but have no idea which way it's going to go. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, and it's best to reserve judgment for right now. I mean, remember, it was a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, that President Trump was doing an interview with Jake Tapper. He said 4 weeks. He said 4 weeks in an interview with Jake Tapper. So if you want to take the president at his word, and I know when I say that out loud, people roll their eyes, but if you want to take the president at his word, we're only halfway through it.
Yep. No, you're right. Hegseth, lightweight or legit?
Why would he be a lightweight? Where's that coming from?
I think that's it. I was wondering where the legit part would come from. I think he's the lightest of lightweights. I think he has no idea what he's talking about. I think he is a utter buffoon.
I don't know. I'll defer to you there. I don't know a whole lot. I don't know a whole bunch about him personally. I mean, he defers to the president at every turn, and he's in a spot where he kind of has to, right?
I just think that the question about, I'm in agreement with all of that. That's all of Trump's people. You know, all the praise goes to Trump. If there's a mistake, you avoid mentioning Trump. Just the Strait of Hormuz thing. I don't think Trump or Hegseth or anyone except military generals that were warning about it thought that would even come to fruition, that there would be any kind of problem. But there is. I mean, like Trump, just be brave, you captains of the ship, and, go pilot through there. That doesn't seem to be the case. And it's jacking up oil prices. What, about 20% of the world's oil, 1/5 goes through there?
Yeah, very close to that. In fact, I think it's 22, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, right on that. And it's just be brave. Look, this isn't the scene from Jaws where the mayor's going around telling somebody to get back in the water, It's a lot more dangerous than that.
Hey, this is a little off topic, obviously, from the war in Iran, the war with New Orleans and the Sewage and Water Board and these broken water mains. Is the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board problem, Brian, similar to like the lead pipes in Flint, Michigan? It was too big for Flint, too big for the state of Michigan. It became a federal problem, the only way to fix it. New Orleans is a 300-plus-year-old city. A lot of these water mains are literally from 1880 to like 1919 they were installed, over 100 years ago. And it seems like this is too big of a problem for New Orleans as a city and too big of a problem for Louisiana as a state. It sort of seems to be a federal problem. Hundreds of millions minimum, maybe $1 billion or $2 billion to fix it right.
I would imagine we get into the billions. As I understand, it's a $30 million startup cost.
Yep.
Just to get to looking into it.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. It's not sustainable. But I will say that let me say this on the positive side about New Orleans Mayor Moreno. This is what she's out in front on that every previous mayor has tried to play, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. They would whack-a-mole and respond when something goes wrong.
Yep.
Moreno has got a plan to get out in front of it. So even if you're looking at a whole ton of costs that the city can't afford, at least you could start looking at ways to make it work in the long term. She's the first one to try to get out in front of the problem. I think you're right, though. I think it's going to end up being too big of a problem. But I give her credit for at least saying, let's acknowledge this and start to get in front.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's a great point, Brian. I think most mayors in the past, let's put some bubble gum, Band-Aid, rubber band on this water main break and just move on and hope it doesn't happen again.
Right.
This mayor's acknowledging it. How do we fix the problem? Yeah, that 30 you mentioned, 27.5 million. These urgent risk water mains, like 8 of them total identified that they want to replace with that money. But then it's like about 700 million for 33 miles of aging pipe. And then it's a couple of billion to knock out, the entire thing. So
yeah, not to mention where all of it is and getting to it, and is it sustainable long term beyond that? Because the ground's going to move more. And it's where the city's built.
Yep. The Sewage and Water Board years ago, I remember this was like almost a decade ago, they said the pipe should be replaced like every 50 years. That's what cities do. And these cast iron pipes they put in, I mentioned from like the late 1880s to like 1919, like over a century ago, the life expectancy of the pipe itself, not working in a system, they should be replaced every 50 years, but just a cast iron pipe has like a 75 to 100 year life expectancy. So I think why we've seen 6 breaks in the last 6 weeks, 5 in Uptown, the metallurgy, the pipe itself is breaking down, much less breaking down as part of a system.
Yeah. So and it's like, and again, credit to Moreno, because under the previous administration, as long as that shower was flowing well in the Pontalba, there was no reason to acknowledge anything.
It's so true. As long as the drinks were flowing and the flow at the Pontalba apartment shower head was good, everything was fine. You're so true.
Other than that, I think the official statement was not now, I'm in Switzerland.
Yeah, no, I swear. You're nailing it. You got Junket Cantrell, exactly. On a trip to not around the country, around the world.
All around the world.
Hey, what do you think about the SAVE Act?
Okay. Here's what. Okay, I got to be like honest as a conservative here. I love the SAVE Act. I love the idea of you have to have an ID to vote because our vote should be sacred. Our vote belongs to us, and even if there's no recorded problems or whatever, your vote should belong to you. And the way to make sure your vote belongs to you is to show your ID. The flip side of this, Corey, and this is where conservatives should have a little bit of internal battle here. Everything that's not specifically listed in the Constitution belongs to the states. And anytime we run into the problem of ceding over states' rights back to the federal government, we become less of a state and more of an authoritarian nation. We become less of the United States and more of just America. So I get where John Kennedy's at on this, but at the end of the day, I think I'm pro. I think I'm in favor of it. Just even if I have to hand over a little bit of my own sovereignty, protecting that vote is unbelievably important to me.
Of course, we don't want voter fraud. I think it rarely happens.
I think it happens, but it's rarely reported. And that's 2 things can be true at the same time. Okay, if someone is not going to vote, and they're not going to vote, and you can vote under their name, it's never going to be reported. And when you have elections that have 10% turnout, like Sidney Bartholomew last weekend, you have 90% of the people have no idea if they voted or not, or what was voted under their name or not. So you are going to have a certain percentage of fraud that goes without being seen ever.
I mean, you act like that happens every election.
We have no way of knowing, do we?
No, but I think any close election, especially when there's a recount, we would see massive voter fraud when there's that recount, and we rarely see voter fraud.
How would you see the fraud?
When you're recounting votes?
You're still going to have the same number of votes by the same number of voters, unless someone can start calling around and say, "Hey, Corey, did you vote last Saturday?"
Well, the numbers usually change when there's a recount. There's they throw out ballots, that type of thing. Now, real quick, Brian, I don't know about you, but I give my driver's license every time I vote. Who doesn't?
So do I. We show voter ID. We show our IDs when we vote here. But if you go in without your ID, you can fill out a slip that says, "I've forgotten my ID, but this is an affidavit saying I am who I am."
And then sign your name in the book.
Right.
And as far as registering to vote, same thing. Have to show an ID to register to vote.
Yes, you can't fill out an affidavit on that. You do have to actually have your ID to register.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's 2026.
Yeah.
You're going to freak out when I say this. We should be able to vote over the phone.
Believe it or not, I'm more in favor of the phone than I am the mail. You have far fewer throws in the rundown, if I can make a baseball reference, far fewer throws in the rundown with your phone. You're more secure. You have, you have all your encryption. I believe it's much safer over the phone.
I mean, I think the SAVE Act, you're duplicating ID. You're making it harder for someone to vote, arguably, than making it easier. In 2026, it should be, you could thumbprint, you could do facial ID on the phone, one vote for each person, no voter fraud, no way. I mean, I guess you could have grandma comatose and take her thumbprint and her facial and start voting for grandma. I mean, I think there's a way around all this with certain technology in 2026.
Yes, but the flip side of this, though, is those who are against the SAVE Act like to say that you can't have to prove ID because you shouldn't have to go pay for an ID, because there are some states where they do charge for some form of identification. So if it's unfair to have to go pay for an ID in order to say you have to vote over your phone, now you're talking about, contract plans with AT&T and Verizon before you have the right to vote.
Well, I mean, it's like getting a passport. You'd have to go, bring like a birth certificate. A lot of people don't have access to their birth certificate. That thing's long gone. They'd have to go down to city government or state government to get a birth certificate reissued so they could go get this extra ID just so they can vote. I think a lot of people are complaining about it because it's making it harder to vote, not, oh, you got to have an ID to vote.
Right. Now imagine how much harder it would be if you had to have a smartphone to vote.
Or, utilizing someone else's. It's your fingerprint, your facial ID. Then you could still have like a place, I don't know, public library where phones were available for people to vote. But seems like most people have phones, or at least access to one. It seems like that would be a lot easier than physically having to go down to the voting booth. Just seems so crazy in 2026.
From a practicality standpoint, I'm with you. Sometimes the Constitution doesn't run in the same lane as practicality.
Yep, and technology and the like. Hang on a second, Brian. We're going to take our final break. Come right back. More with Brian Haldane, conservative voice out of Baton Rouge. Corey Johnson with you on a cool, crisp Tuesday afternoon in New Orleans. Weather doesn't get much nicer than this.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971. on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Steak Knife restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
90 minutes of fun.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon, Corey Johnson back at you on this cool, crisp day. Get outside and enjoy it. Brian Haldane's with us. Hey, Brian, how did St. Patrick's Day go for you?
Man, it was unbelievably great. Great March, perfect weather. I met Tyler Shuck.
Nice.
And then you get back after you're done and you find out somebody's slinging a Hail Hitler salute from a float, and those guys got booted from the crew from the parade forever. So
that's good.
Yeah, and like with the quickness. I'm sure you've seen the video, huh?
Of what, the Nazi salute stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look like it was some kind of serious militant thing, but you got to have the wherewithal to know there's certain things you don't joke about.
No, exactly. It's no different from if women were flashing what from the float, or someone's got a black Barbie with a noose around its neck. It's like, this is a parade, and the crew has the right to toss you from the parade. And
exactly
what crew would want to be known to be in favor of that kind of, activity?
Yeah, if it's kids that think they're having a good time, or if it's somebody who's actually being serious, it doesn't make a difference. It's a parade. It's a privilege, not a right to ride.
Yep.
And yeah, when you look at the overall, and let's not forget a couple of years ago with that the banana with the racist message that popped up somehow.
No, exactly.
Figured out who sent that out.
Yep. No, it's the conduct of people. I mean, could you imagine the mayor at Gallier Hall flipping off a float? Oh, wait, that happened.
Yes, that's also true.
Brian Haldane's with us. Yeah, that kind of stuff can't happen. I don't get people, Brian. I don't understand that mentality. Hey, I know you cover LSU. You do pre and post game during the football broadcasts. So you know sports really well. Have you ever in your life seen the Saints this aggressive in free agency?
No, I have not. I am super impressed. I'm a little bit concerned that we're not going to see Alvin Kamara anymore. But I mean, and what a tried and true Saint for his career. He gets a lifetime exemption from everything for me.
Yep.
But yeah, the way they're going about this with the increase in the salary cap and finally having some money freed up, they want to win, man. It finally feels like the house is back in order in the post Peyton Breeze era.
And I'll take 27-year-old Caden Ellis back, at linebacker than 37-year-old Demario Davis. I would have loved Demario Davis back. You can't pay him $15 million guaranteed like the Jets. More power to Demario Davis. I'm not faulting him for a second. Take the money and run to New York. But I think the Saints were right to let that go.
No, same. Love DeMario Davis. Would like to keep him forever, but I love DeMario Davis, and I want to see him earn every dollar he can get while he's in the league.
Definitely.
I want to make sure he's set up for life and generations.
Yep. No, he just, after paying his agent, after paying taxes, he's going to walk with like 7, 8, 9 million from the Jets. I mean, you pull 5% of that for the rest of your life. You're pulling $450 a year. I mean, off 9 mil, that's the most genius thing he ever did. The Saints can't afford that. Cam Jordan could be returning. I think chances are he probably won't, but I'd say it's about a 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4. I don't think folks are banging down his door.
Yeah, it's a question of, is there a market for him? Because if you're spending money, or you spend the money on somebody whose best performance was when they were playing less.
Yep. And Taysom Hill, I'm assuming, just retires.
I guess so. I don't know. How come we haven't been able to recreate Taysom Hill in a laboratory somewhere?
What do you mean? You mean, how about the NFL, much less the Saints? Look how many teams have tried to duplicate Taysom Hill elsewhere. There's like a half dozen examples, and they've pretty much all failed. Hell, the Saints tried it. You remember the Mississippi State quarterback from a few years ago?
That's what I'm asking about. It's like, why is that not doable? I feel like there ought to be some sort of like game plan to be able to make that happen.
I think he's sort of a fluke, like he came out of the quarterback position. Like I think earlier he would have been moved to linebacker, running back, tight end, H-back, safety. He would have been moved and would have been playing that position full time. I think there's probably a guy on every NFL team that could do the Taysom Hill, probably 20 in the league, maybe not every team, but 20 in the league. But it's your starting cornerback. It's your starting wide receiver. You're not going to spread him thin. I mean, he's, catching 80 balls at 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns a year. You're not going to put that guy on special teams or line him up as a, quarterback or something like that. So I think coming out of that quarterback position freed it up for Taysom Hill, like not good enough to be a QB, but good enough to play all these other positions. No, I mean, Taysom Hill's like a Christian McCaffrey or something, he could have played running back full time.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we went back to the well with the kid from Mississippi State. I'd go back to the well again. I'd try it again. There's got to be a way to replicate it because he's been so effective for so long.
Yep.
You like you said, you're not going to burn a resource that's a starter at another spot. But when you're looking for that third quarterback, man, to me, it's worth the effort to put in.
I think a player like him gets bulked up and plays D-end or whatever. I think they find a spot. It's hard to find a guy who's like, 6'3", 225, 230, runs a 4.4 40, can throw it, can run, can catch, can block, can play special. It's just, I think it's hard to find that player that excels at all those things. He excels at all of them.
Yeah, it's got to start with quarterback, though. You start with the quarterback who can make the move, not the other way around.
Who is your boy? I mean, I'm going blank. Christian, Florida, quarterback, played baseball a little while.
Oh, he was a New York Mets. Well, I would know if you didn't ask me.
Yeah, from the Mets.
Tim.
Tebow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tebow would be a good example of that. But Tebow's like, I want to play quarterback. Taysom Hill was like, I'll try these other spots. It's like the player where you're like, hey, Brian, You're not going to make the team as a wideout. You need to play special teams. I'm a wideout, coach. Okay, when you're not making the team. Taysom Hill opted to get out of that QB thing. Tebow refused to. I think Tebow could have been that player.
All right, I'm going to call the shot right now. Somebody wants to take a run at this in the NFL draft. Southern Miss's quarterback, Braylon Braxton, 6'2", 230, runs like a flash. He fits the mold. He's heavy up top as well. He's kind of beefy up. He could fit the mold.
There you go. No, I think you continue trying, especially in the later rounds. Hey, Brian, always a pleasure, man. There's Blue Boy barking up a storm.
Likewise, Corey.
Catch you next week. That's Brian Haldane. Google him. Follow him on social media. Check out his program, 6 to 9 a.m. in Baton Rouge. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way next. It's a Tuesday afternoon, New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you all the way till 6 p.m. Stand by.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters.
And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way on a Tuesday afternoon. The 5 o'clock powwow on this Tuesday afternoon brought to you by Rouse's Markets. Go to rouses.com, like from the parking lot, before you walk in your Rouse's to do your shopping, upper right page of their website. Daily specials, their newspaper ads, dozens and dozens of items, a bunch of items that you probably buy regularly on sale. Lower prices than Rouse's already low prices. Rouse's has over 75 stores. They're buying in bulk, passing the savings on to you. That's right, over 75 Rouse's locations. Before you go in the store, rouses.com, upper right-hand page of that website page, daily specials. Click on it and enjoy rouses.com. What a cool, crisp afternoon. I did it last night. I dropped some coals, did some grilling last night. It's that kind of night, 56 degrees. It'll get down to about 46 on the South Shore when we wake up in the morning. So this cool, crisp feeling just continues. By the way, blue skies, sunny, another 2 hours plus of daylight left. Staying light until about 7:20 right now. It's about 5 after 5. You got a good 2 hours and 15 minutes of daylight. You can knock out 9 holes of golf, a set of tennis. Dig that hole in the front yard and plant that tree. Take the dog for a walk. Take yourself for a walk. Head to Audubon Park or City Park and enjoy the incredible weather. Over 2 hours of wonderful weather left in today. Get outside, enjoy it. I love this light until 7:20 gimmick. Are you kidding me? I don't like the dark at 6:15. I mean, we almost don't get light now till about 6:45, 7 a.m. But that'll get, the days will get longer. So it'll get lighter earlier. And the day will be longer till like about 8:15, 8:30 in a couple of months. Yeah, you right. Can you believe 4 weeks from Thursday, French Quarter Fest? 4 weeks from Thursday. That means the Zurich Classic is like 5-6 weeks away. Jazz Fest like 5-6 weeks away from Jazz Fest. Crazy. If New Orleans wants the 2031 Super Bowl, this $500 million, 1,000-plus room Omni Convention Center hotel is a must. The HDLC, that's kind of the hard one to get over, although the city council often overrules them. The Historic District Landmark Commission last week approved the recommendation to demolish the Sugar Mill venue, which is, I don't know if it's like a physical structure per se with a roof. I think it's more of like old walls and the like. They're going to clear that and allow this $500 million hotel to be built. The council has to vote to make it official, but they will. Now, this is huge. The NFL basically told the city, you need a new hotel or two, and you need to update some existing hotel rooms, and the city's going to do exactly that. The convention center needs a hotel essentially connected to the building. This 1,000+ room Omni is the convention center hotel. It's going to be literally right across the street, 50 feet away. Other convention centers around the country that are doing really well have a 1,000+ room hotel essentially connected to their convention center. They're talking about a few dozen extra conventions annually because of that hotel alone. So if New Orleans wants the 2031 Super Bowl, this hotel needs to be built in time. The council green lights it. They start building. They say it'll be open by 2030, at least a year in advance of the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Let's hope so, because we need to land the 2031 game. If New Orleans doesn't land the 2031 game, the next available game, because of Mardi Gras and convention problems on the schedule, would be 2038. And that would be the longest gap ever between Super Bowls. I think the NFL, a couple of things, is aware of that date, 2038. They're aware of these conflicts on the schedule with Mardi Gras and conventions already booked. And I think it really gives New Orleans a leg up on landing the 2031 game, especially when, like, the world's worst kept secret in NFL circles, where the 29 and 30 games going. That's Las Vegas and Nashville. They usually award 3 at a time. So I think when they have that meeting, it'll be Las Vegas in 29, Nashville in 30, and New Orleans in 2031. And then we can refocus on getting the 2038 game too, that next available date. But 2031 would be sort of a coup, considering we just had, the Super Bowl, the last one in New Orleans. I guess what, Mario, the 2025 game?
Yeah.
After the 2024 season?
That's right. Yep.
So no, landing another game 6 years later would be a coup. That's like kind of back to the old schedule.
Yeah, that's how it used to be up until like 2000 and whatever that year was. You had like 2 Super Bowls in NOLA every decade.
Yeah. That's in the beginning. It was absurd. We landed them like every other year almost, like 70, 72, 75, 78, 81. It was like, every 2-3 years.
Well, yeah, pre-Superdome, going back to Tulane Stadium.
Yeah, and then it went into a little longer gap, maybe 6, 7, 8 years. And then the last 2 have been like a dozen years between games, like a dozen, and that's too long. That's too long for the NFL. That's too long for everybody, not just New Orleans. It's just too long of a gap. It's just too long of a gap. Hey, the phone lines are open at 766-9480. That's how you dial us up. 766-9480. Got a question, comment, critique? We don't screen calls and we don't cut you off, especially if we disagree. Let's head to the phone lines to Metairie, Louisiana, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. Mark, what's going on in Metairie?
Hey, I wish I could have called you when you had your guest on. But remember the first 4 years of Trump, he dogged NATO out and told them that they was pretty much crap. And he wanted to pull America out of NATO. And if I was another country right now, I would not step up to help. I love America, grew up in America, but I would not step up to help America right now.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why these countries aren't, Mark. It's ready, fire, aim. There isn't like a definitive plan, and there's going to be a new regime in Iran, and it's obvious, and we can see it clearly. It's sort of the opposite. We have no idea how this is going to end up. Trump's even acknowledged things like rise up and take over your government to, hey, it could be someone worse, and we're in a worse situation. So I think just the ready, fire, aim, Hegseth's kind of comments that are very wishy-washy about the, Strait of Hormuz, not really having a good answer to that when the media asked him, just rambling on. No, that our allies like Japan, Germany, they're like, thanks, but no thanks. You're on your own on this one.
Yeah, well, Trump pulled the trigger on it, so I kind of don't blame him. But I hope it turns out good. But if it's kind of like Russia going into Ukraine, thinking this thing gonna be over whenever Trump think he can just stop bombing these people and pull out and everything gonna be fine. They're not gonna forget this stuff.
Mark, I think you bring up a good analogy about Russia going into Ukraine. They thought that was going to be a few weeks and over with. I don't know how long this is going to last. You already have Israel going into Lebanon now, because they got to go get Hezbollah. So they're going into southern Lebanon on their northern border of Israel. No, this war is already expanding right in front of us.
Yeah, I think it's going to, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better, Corey. But I love your show. Keep it up, man. I listen to you every day.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Mark. That's Mark and Metri dialing us up. I mean, I don't know how you argue with Mark. I know some folks would just take it like, you're an American. You're against Trump. You're against the war. No, Mark's saying he's an American. He just understands why these other countries aren't stepping up, and I get it too. Trump cocks off a lot. It's a lot of ready, fire, aim, the taco thing, all of that. So, no, I get why these countries aren't backing us. And this Iran plan is kind of shooting from the hip. It's not some definitive plan where, hey, in 26 days we achieve this goal. There's a new regime in. I mean, Iran is... their leadership's just getting picked off, and another group of fanatics steps up and takes over. Plus, I mean, the Strait of Hormuz, it's almost like some, central city gang. You get a dozen or few people hell-bent on taking out a, big ocean-going oil, ship. It's not going to be that difficult to take out a tanker, especially in all that open water, and it's going to be very difficult to protect them. Underwater drones, above air drones, fanatics that'll take a speedboat full of explosives and ram the ship and kill themselves doing it, suicide type stuff. No, these folks are fanatical. I think a pretty good analogy, like Russia going into Ukraine thinking it's going to be a few weeks. I hope it is a few weeks. I hope we get a very friendly regime. I hope there's a democracy in Iran. I hope. I have no idea which way this thing's going to go. So keep your fingers crossed. It's a ready, fire, aim.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Because I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog shit.
Oh, boy. Get the bag. Clean it up. Corey Johnson back at you, 5 o'clock pow hour. Gallagher's 527 tonight for dinner. What are you waiting for? You've been hearing me talk about Gallagher's 527 for months now. It's that good. One of the premier dining establishments in the entire metro New Orleans area. You will not be disappointed if you go to Gallagher's 527, and they are so Lent ready. Pompano, redfish, tuna, gulfish amandine, pecan crusted, I should say, catfish meuniere, bacon wrapped shrimp, bacon wrapped oysters, flash fried to perfection, scallops. The seafood gumbo is as good as anywhere. Repeat, Gallagher's 527 seafood gumbo, as good as anywhere. Fantastic. And yes, the crab meat St. Francis appetizer, Pat Gallagher says it best. The Louisiana jumbo lump crab meat is the star of this dish. I'll say it again. I don't know if there's a better crab meat dish anywhere on planet Earth than at Gallagher's 527 and the crab meat St. Francis appetizer. It is a must get. Get there tonight for dinner. It's so good. It's special. Chef-driven delicacies. Delicious. Delicious. It's Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. You know, it's 520. In about 20 or 30 minutes, the causeway is going to be pretty clear. From Lakeside Shopping Center to the front door of Gallagher's 527, about 22 minutes, 23 minutes door to door. That's how long it'll take you. You with family or friends, it's easy. The causeway's easy. No entrances, no exits. Get in the right lane. Put it on cruise control around 67. Kaboom goes the dynamite. Dining pleasure at Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. No, you know, it stinks. I was driving in the car a few weeks ago, flipping around the dial, landed on a local show, and this show host was talking about a restaurant. And I was like, I went to that restaurant in Metairie with my mom, my brother, my sister. I might even had a date, some friends. Not one of us liked it. We're like, we're never coming back. I'm not going to name the restaurant, but this guy's promoting it like it's something great. We're never going back. Like everyone in our party was like, not coming back here, expensive and not good. And this guy's pushing it like I push Gallagher's 527. So you hear a lot of stuff. All I can tell you is you might agree with me or disagree with me politically or about this or that. When I'm talking about clients and advertisers on this program, I'm very selective. I'm very picky. I only go with the best because my name's on the line. My reputation's on the line. I tell you, Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys, total maintenance for AC and heat, and they show up and screw you around. You can be like, Corey sucks. Corey's saying they're great. They're very good to great. I need to trust total maintenance. Gallagher's 527, the crab meat St. Francis. Corey's not saying it's like pretty good or, something to get that's all right. He's saying it's fantastic, one of the best crab meat dishes you'll ever taste. No, my name's out there. My reputation's on the line. You go to Gallagher's 527, you get that crab meat St. Francis, and it's not fantastic. You're not going, damn, Corey nailed it. This is so delicious. Then my reputation goes in the gutter. You'll love Gallagher's 527. Trust me. And when you're listening to other local, national hosts talk about different products and stuff, listen to how they're talking about them. Are they passionate about them? Do they sound trustworthy? Or are they just receiving a check and promoting something that they probably won't be promoting next quarter, maybe not even next month? Here today, gone tomorrow. Now, my rep's on the line. Love Gallagher's 527. You will too. Yeah, if New Orleans wants the 2031 Super Bowl, this $500 million, 1,000+ room Omni Hotel has to be built. Looks like it's getting green lighted. The Sewage and Water Board unveils a $2 billion water system action plan, a multi-step plan to repair and evaluate the city's aging water system, 6-step plan for today. That leads into developing a long-term plan. First off, step one, about $27.5 billion. The urgent risk water mains. They've come up with about 8. They've identified about 8 super urgent risk water mains, all over 100 years old. 6th Street, Magnolia, Joseph, Willow, Cone, Spruce, most of them uptown. If you look at the map, they have a map. I should have reposted it on Twitter, on X. They have a map, like basically from the Claiborne facility on out. Like the closer you are to the Claiborne facility, the older the pipes are. The farther you get out, like heading, towards Mid-City, heading out towards Lakeview, heading out towards New Orleans East. The farther you go out, the newer the pipes are. Literally, some of these water mains were built, and I'm not making this up, between like the late 1880s, and around 1919. I was about to say 2019. From like the late 1880s to like 2019, over like a 35 year period, over a century ago. Over a century, from like 105 to like 125, 130 years old. That's when a lot of pipes were replaced with the new pipes of cast iron from the late 1880s to like 1919. So the Sewage and Water Board said years ago that pipes in general from a sewage and water system should be replaced like every half century, like every 50 years. And then the life expectancy of a cast iron pipe is about 75 to 100 years old before the metallurgy, before the pipe itself just starts cracking, crumbling, and falling apart. That's why we're having these water main breaks in Uptown. The usefulness of the pipe as part of the system, 50-year lifespan, replace them while they're still good, but starting to fade. And then you get 50 more years out of the new pipes. These pipes were not replaced at 50 years. Now they're 75 to 100, 120, 130 years old, 2.5 times when they should have been replaced. No, the life expectancy of the physical pipe is falling apart. So an urgent risk is step one. 8 total sites identified. They're going to spend nearly $30 million fixing those water mains. Then they're going to assess the uptown mains that are all over 100 years old. Evaluate those. Then they're going to look into new technology. Like if you noticed, when they redid the big 4-foot pipes, 48-inch pipes on Claiborne's, I don't know if you remember that. They literally had these I don't want to say PVC, but like a plastic pipe. They're probably about 2 inches thick and 4 feet in diameter. And what they did, they literally had a machine that would stretch the pipe. So it would cease being 4 feet in diameter. I'm just making up the numbers, and would go to maybe 46 or 45 inches in diameter. And they would insert this plastic pipe that was stretched out in an existing cast iron pipe that's failing, a water main that's made out of cast iron that's 48 inches. They would stick the plastic pipe inside of it and then let it expand back out. It would end up resting on the side of the existing pipe. So instead of digging a trench and digging up every pipe and then laying new pipe in the trench and then filling it in, they simply dug a hole on one side of the street and then another hole maybe a block down, literally like a few hundred yards. And then they would get a few hundred yards of this plastic black pipe and stretch it so it would go from 48 inches to maybe 46, 45, 44 inches, insert it in the 4-foot pipe, and then let it expand back out to shape. So that is a new technology, major cost cutting. I mean, could you imagine ripping up the entire street for a few hundred yards, digging up the old pipe, shutting down the system, installing the new pipe, burying it, connecting it, all that? A nightmare and very expensive. So the third step of 6 is checking out new technology. The fourth step is nearly $700 million. $680 million near and medium-term priorities, like nearly 34 miles of aging pipe. They want to start replacing 34 miles of aging pipe by 2027 at a cost of nearly $700 million. Then they want to do a hydraulic model out in New Orleans East, see how that works, and then maybe implement it in other parts of the city. And the sixth and final point of the plan is $2 billion over the next 20 to 30 years, replacing 60% of the city's water mains. They say, the Sewage and Water Board says, a mile of large transmission main, a large line, like I'm guessing the small end would be about a 30-inch diameter, the large end 4 feet, about $20 million a mile. Again, most of these mains are over 100 years old, installed in the late 1880s to 1919, over like a 30, 35-year period. No, the $2 billion is when I talk about the lead pipes in Flint, Michigan. Too big for the city of Flint, too big for the state of Michigan. They needed the feds to come in to replace these lead pipes. Same thing with New Orleans, 300-plus-year-old city, 100-plus-year-old water mains, like 100 years old, a century plus. Most are 80 years old. Many are over 100, over 120 years old. That's a problem that's too big for the city of New Orleans, a problem that's too big for the state. We need the feds. We need the feds. Corey Johnson with you. You need the fence man when you need a fence or an automatic gate for your home, business, or any property. Yeah, you got to see the fence man. For all your backyard residential or commercial fencing needs, automatic gate needs, you got to see the fence man. Over 20 years, thefenceman-neworleans.com, thefenceman-neworleans.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Simlawn Artificial Turf Custom Golf Putting Greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
I bet his smells like sandalwood.
Corey Johnson.
He's absolutely magnificent.
Got to keep this up till 6? Wow. Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. Outstanding weather. Hey, every day we're on radio. We're on television for 2 hours till 6 o'clock now. Cox Channel 4 viewers, 4 to 6. Spectrum Channel 333 viewers, 4 to 6. And we're on social media, Twitter, a.k.a. X, YouTube Live. It's always brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, home of the #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. Have you seen those black label Lincoln SUVs? So plush, so nice, so luxurious. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park has a full selection for you to choose from at Lamarck Lincoln, the #1 Lincoln dealership in the state of Louisiana, right next door to the big store, Lamarck Ford, for over 45 years. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park doing you right. Folks not only from like Metro New Orleans and the area go to Lamarck Ford, folks come in from out of state to buy a new Ford vehicle, truck, SUV, or Mustang from Lamarck Ford in Kenner. And don't forget about Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. For over 80 years, Crescent City Ford. Lamarck Crescent City Ford, your commercial truck, van, SUV dealer. You own a business? You need a truck, van, or SUV? You go to Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program, 5 o'clock power hour. A shortage of migrant workers for these 25 to 30 processing plants that peel crawfish. We had the Louisiana head of agriculture on the program, Mike Strain, last week, talking about this exact topic. I've been talking about it for about a month on social media. No, and Mike brought up a really good point about, like, if some of these plants don't get the workers and they close this year, they may not open back up next year. They just go away. They just go away. No, it's migrant workers. It's a shortfall of specifically these H-2B visas, where these migrant workers will come in and head to Cajun country for a few months, usually January through like April or maybe even May and peel crawfish for 8 hours a day. It's good pay. You can take the job. You want to peel crawfish all day? It's open to anybody. So when people like these migrant workers steal our jobs, it's nonsense. It's all BS. The jobs are available for you and me. We could go peel crawfish at any of these processing plants starting tomorrow. But no one wants to do it locally. That's why these H1, H2 visas are actually there, because we need to supplement the workforce. Anyway, it's already expensive getting crawfish by the pound that are peeled in the little pack, fresh Louisiana crawfish. The crap from China, those universal in size little nugget, looks like a little knuckle, just nasty, no flavor, rubbery. Those are like $5-6 a pound. Louisiana crawfish will be like more than double, like about 2.5 times roughly. If Chinese crawfish are $5 a pound, Louisiana crawfish are going to be like 12. If Chinese crawfish are like $6-7, Louisiana crawfish are going to be like $15 a pound. Now you throw in this shortfall of migrant workers, the price can go up even more if we get the crawfish at all. Mike Strain said there are about 30 processing plants. He said about 20 of them are staffed up, but 1/3, about 10 of the 30, he says they're shut down right now. They had an article, I think it was on the Times-Picayune or maybe Fox 8's website. I forget which source, but legitimate source. And it was talking about, I think they had the Farm Bureau they were quoting or something, saying there's maybe 20 to 25 processing plants. Mike Strain said 30. Regardless, they're both on the same page that about 10 of them don't have the workers necessary to peel crawfish. Young's Dry Cleaning. I've been talking about Young since the late 90s. I don't know if there's another radio talk show host in America that has been talking about a single business, a single client, a single advertiser like I have been for nearly 30 years. I've been talking about Young's on this program for over 25 years. I've been promoting Young's on talk radio for over 25 years. I think it's pretty impressive. I think Young's is impressive. Since 1940, 86 years of excellence. Dale and Don, the brothers at Young's, they'll take care of you like they've been taking care of me for decades. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Sick of putting on a shirt and the button's missing? Sick of putting on a blouse and the collar's not right? Young'sDryCleaning.com. Problem solved. It's nice to have an ace in the hole. Young'sDryCleaning.com. A cool, crisp day. Still a good hour and a half, at least. Hour and 40 minutes of daylight. Daylight till 7:20. Yeah, you're right. Get out and enjoy it. Just put on a light jacket, a sweater. It's a little cool and crisp out there, mid-50s. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, it'll be around 46. But then we're expected to hit 70 tomorrow. And then over like the next week, sunny, clear, mostly 60s and 70s for like the next week. Just outstanding weather, including this weekend. I know it's only Tuesday, but this weekend looks like another killer, another great weather weekend. Yeah, you're right. 4 weeks from Thursday, French Quarter Fest, 4 weeks. That means Jazz Fest is 6 weeks from Thursday. Zurich Classic, the PGA Tour stop. A lot going on. Bayou Boogaloo, Greek Fest on Bayou St. John. All kind of good stuff coming up the next few months. Yeah, you right. Brian Haldane joined us in the 4 o'clock hour, conservative voice, talking about a slew of topics, including the war in Iran. You know, when Trump and the war started, I was all for it. I was like, great. Khomeini's dead, get a new regime in. But as the war has progressed, I don't think Donald Trump realized the, Strait of Hormuz was going to be a problem like it is. I don't think he thought that Iran would just hang on like they have. They've got a lot of these cheap drones that cost 10, 20, 30 grand. They're going to launch those, taking, big oil tankers out in the Strait of Hormuz. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's easy to sink an oil tanker. But when you're some desperate terrorist and you'll die trying, it's not that difficult. So I think Donald Trump with this war in Iran, a lot of ready, fire, aim, like kind of going off half-cocked. Mark and Metairie called us earlier in the program and said, reminds him of Putin and Russia invading Ukraine. They thought it would last a few weeks. Ukraine would just lay down their arms and it would be over with. Iran is getting decimated militarily. There's no doubt about it. But they continue to fight, and new, terrorist types, religious zealots take over. And we're launching defense systems that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, even north of $1 million a launch, to knock out a drone that costs $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. So I'm hoping this Iran war ends soon. I'm hoping I get home tonight and, on News Nation, whatever I'm watching, they're like, Iran's leadership has put down their weapons. The military's put down their weapons. They're going to put this guy in charge. They're going to have, a democracy. People are going to be able to vote for their elected officials. The hyper-religious state is going to disappear. I'd love all that to happen. I'm hoping that happens. It could happen, but I don't think it's as easy as Donald Trump thought it was going to be. I mean, 1 minute he's literally saying, rise up and take over your country. And then the next minute he's saying, we might get somebody worse in there leading the country than what we had. That's usually why you don't do what Donald Trump did in Iran, because like the devil is better than the one you don't know. No, I'm hopeful. I'm pro-America. I want the United States to succeed in this endeavor without a doubt. But the Strait of Hormuz is a major problem. Oil prices are skyrocketing. These other countries that are our allies, our friends, that Trump, slapped tariffs on and would say disparaging things about, they don't want anything to do with this. They're like, boy, this is your ready, fire, aim war. We weren't for invading Iran. So we're not going to help and assist. This is like Japan and Germany, France, Spain. No, we're not going to help protect oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. So no, right now, I mean, I'm not making light of this, but this war is like my golf game. I have no idea how I'm going to score at the end. I might play well. I might play crappy. It's kind of beyond my control. I go out there hoping to play well. I focus and try to do the right things to have a good round of golf. Sometimes it goes crappy. I think this war is like my golf game. Donald Trump, the United States, the powers that be in our country right now, honestly have no idea how this is going to go. They're just hoping for the best. And they've even acknowledged that the worst could happen. It could be someone in there in power that's worse than what we had before. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe's open till 9:30 tonight. They're open 7 days a week. They crank up at 11 a.m. They go till 9:30. I picked up a to-go order for lunch today from Lebanon's Cafe. Right when I walk in the door, we serve Gulf shrimp right on the door. They're Lent ready for you, Gulf shrimp, and all those Middle Eastern sides that are Lent ready. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. I love the open at 11 a.m., and I love that they're open straight through in the day. You can get late lunch like at 2 or early dinner at like 4. And I love that they're open till 9:30 at night, till 9:30. You can get a late night meal at Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. The Sewerage and Water Board unveiled a $2 billion water system action plan, a multi-step plan to repair and evaluate the city's aging water system. 6 steps. The city of New Orleans trying to get this quasi-city entity that's run by the state under the control of the city council. Centralize this Sewage and Water Board, this dysfunctional entity.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. The Steak Knife restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night, the Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. Real injuries, real claims, real lawyers. When you have a serious problem, you need a serious attorney. That's Kiefer and Kiefer, a New Orleans law firm for decades. Nat Kiefer Sr., the old senator, started the firm. His son graduates from law school. Within 2 years, he's working with his dad. Now Nat Kiefer Jr.'s daughter, Megan, is part of the firm. Third generation, truly a family affair. A New Orleans law firm, KieferandKiefer.com. To learn more, to find out more, go online, KieferandKiefer.com. A cool, crisp day. Get outside and enjoy it. Still a lot of daylight, like an hour and a half left. Enjoy this great, cool, crisp weather. An hour and a half left. We stay light till about 7:20. Yeah, you right. If New Orleans wants that 2031 Super Bowl, that $500 million, 1,000+ room Omni Hotel on Convention Center Boulevard needs to get the green light. The HDLC last week did their part, approving a recommendation to demolish the Sugar Mill venue. Now the city council will vote on that. That'll boost not only the convention center area, but the River District. I mean, $500 million Omni Hotel, crane in the sky. That Shell building right down the street in the River District being built, crane in the sky. Be nice to get some momentum going with cranes in the sky in New Orleans. Sewage and Water Board unveils a $2 billion water system action plan, a multi-step plan to repair and evaluate the city's aging water system. 6 steps. The first one's about $27.5 million of urgent risk water mains. They identified about 8. Step 4 is about $700 million, replacing like 33 miles of pipe. And then step 6 is $2 billion over the next 20 to 30 years, replacing 60% of the city's water mains. So from $27.5 million to start to about $700 million to handle some near and medium term priorities, and then ultimately $2 billion. I've been comparing this to the lead pipes in Flint, Michigan. Too big for Flint, too big for the state of Michigan. They needed to get the feds involved. New Orleans, 300-year-old city, 100-plus-year-old water mains all over the city. Too big for the city, too big for the state. We need to get the feds involved. We had on the head of agriculture in the state of Louisiana, Mike Strain, last week. There's a story about the shortage of migrant workers. A good 10 of roughly 25 or 30 crawfish processing plants where they peel crawfish. You get those 1-pound bags with all the fat, the good flavor, the Louisiana local crawfish. About 10 of the 25 or 30 plants don't have migrant workers. And Mike Strain brought up a good point. Like, you don't want them shutting down because not only do you lose them for this year, they may never return. Like, you lose them forever. You lose them forever. I don't know about you, but you're probably running heat right now, mid-50s. Tonight, it's going to be an overnight low of like 46 on the South Shore, high 30s on the North Shore. You're running heat. And then tomorrow afternoon, later in the week, we're going to get into the 70s and 80s. You're going to be running air conditioning. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, river parishes, North Shore, wherever, Metro New Orleans, Metro Baton Rouge. If you ever need air conditioning or heat help, just think Total Maintenance. Fair and honest, Lucas and the boys have been at it for over 40 years. They have a sterling reputation. They're the pros. They're Total Maintenance. If you need AC or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. That's Total Maintenance. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, you need AC or heat help. Think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Brian Haldane joined us, as he does every Tuesday in the 4 o'clock hour, the conservative voice out of Baton Rouge. We discussed a slew of topics, including the war in Iran. And you, me, everybody, we're hopeful. We're hopeful that this gets done in a correct way. We're hopeful that Iran, the military, puts down their arms. We're hopeful the Strait of Hormuz gets opened up and is clear for oil tankers to traverse the strait, where 20% plus of the world's oil comes through. No, we're hoping for a friendly regime to take over Iran. We're hoping for a democracy. It's a lot of things to hope for. We've decimated Iran as far as militarily. But Iran so far is relentless. They're not stepping down. They're not putting down their arms. No, this war is a ready, fire, aim. The objective is hope, not something definitive. We're in this war till this happens. No, we're in this war for a few more weeks. And then if we don't get things straight, it's going to go to a different level. Israel's already taking it to another level. You know, Israel's like hours away from Iran. Our next door neighbor, Lebanon, Iran funds Hezbollah, and they're in southern Lebanon, and that's what's right north of our border. Israel's sending troops into Lebanon, so it's already on two fronts with Israel. No, all we can do right now is hope. Oh, Blue Boy, what? If you're tooling home from work, chances are you're going to pass one, maybe two, even three Rouse's markets. You're right. Before you go inside, go online, rouses.com, upper right-hand corner of their webpage, daily specials. Click on it. Check it out. Might be a lot of the stuff you buy at even a lower discount than usual. Rouses.com. Hey, see you mañana right here at 4.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.